Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, man, it's your boy Sarge. I don't care what nobody say, man. Smooth riding jazz music is the way you get your Sunday started, man. That's just me, man. And when I get on my motorcycle, I have to listen to slow music. I can't listen to too much of that rap music because I start being like heart murmurs when I'm riding, man. I start getting stressed out and all kind of stuff, man. So, hey, man, but welcome everybody to the Iron Elite Podcast. This is what we're doing. This is our get out, man. So, hey, man, Sunday morning, let's go. Hey man, welcome aboard to the Iron Elite Podcast. It's your boy Sarge, man. I got a treat for you today. Man, we talking Titan time, man. I don't want to hear it no more. Yeah, Sarge, what's up with the Titan stuff, Sarge? How do you get to be a Titan? Hey man, we're gonna talk about all that today. We're gonna put it down, man, and I got a story to tell with my man today, Gorilla Blue. Blue, what's happening, man? Good morning, morning, morning.
Morning, happy Feliz Navidad and Como Stars and all them other dogs.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Hey, Blue. We gonna talk about motorcycles, man. we gonna
Man, that's
hey,
all it is to talk about. Anything else would be uncivilized.
civilized, man. They be telling me, Sarge, is that the only thing you talk about is riding motor? Yeah, man. That's all we talk about. That's what we talk about here, man. Hey, and man, the coolest thing about the Iron Elite podcast, I'm full disclaimer right now. I'm gonna let people know this podcast channel is not just for yonder go getters. It's not just for Harley Davidson riders. It's not just for guys who who might ride, other different types of bikes. Man, it's for everybody. If you love motorcycle riding, this is the channel for you. If you love a motorcycle rider, this is the channel for you. If you support a motorcycle rider, this is the channel for you, man. This is what we do, all exclusive. The thing that we have in common is our passion for motorcycle riding, man. So I just want to put out there full disclaimer right now, because I'm in sometimes, man, son, what about the people that don't do yonder? Well, look here, man. I was one of those people that didn't do yonder years ago. What about you, Blue? Did you start off doing yonder?
No, 'cause shit. I used to think people was crazy when I used to see Rare Breed and even before Rare Breed, I used to see my dad and Uncle Hero from Chosen Few, my Uncle Junebug, them. They used to ride from like California to Arizona, and I'll be in the back seat of the car with my mom growing up as a kid, and I'm like, man, mama, we driving a long way. Daddy not tired and shit like that. So they used to go from California to the Bay Area to Arizona, and as a kid, I used to be like, man, like they really riding that. And then, just growing up, I used to be like, I'm not gonna do all that shit. They crazy.
Hey, man, you growing into stuff, man. It's lanes for this stuff. I'm just say this real quick. Hey, man, just this, 10, 12 years ago, man, I was running around on, don't tell nobody, but I was running around on a CBR, man, and parking lot pimping and rolling burnouts and all kind of stuff like that, man. So it's echelons to this thing. But hey, but the real reason we're here today, man, is to talk about my man Gorilla Blue, 2024 Titan Award recipient, man. Let's hear it for him. So, Blue, man, this is what we want to do today, man. For those, it's probably about two people in America that don't know about you and know about your get out, man. So, for those two people, man, if you don't mind this morning, tell us a little bit about Gorilla Blue. Who are you? Where you come from? What you do? Something about the whole get out about how you get it together.
Well, first of all, I thank God that I made it this far. You know, growing up in Compton, California, um, I'm the firstborn to one of the original brothers of the Sun, which is my daddy, Big Hodge, and my mom. They call her Cookie. Um, Grew up in Compton, up under them, under the brothers of the Sun. My uncle Memphis, my uncle Moses, and Uncle Hero, them in the chosen few. My auntie Fifi, Kalinda Atkins, she's the one who started LOTC. So, you know, I grew up in there as a child, running around in the Brothers of the Sun Motorcycle Clubhouse, just doing shit, messing up the arcade video games, and trying to throw water on the torch because, you know, they didn't have lights in the front of the clubhouse. They had these two, like, Statue of Liberty torches that was on a building, and they used to have to turn the fire on and light them. And we used to be fucking with them and stuff right there off of Long Beach Boulevard. So, you know, I just grew up in this shit, man. And my real name is Roland Terry Hodge Jr. You know what I'm saying? I go by Gorilla Blue because me and my uncle Junebug, when I picked up my first Harley in '06, we went to the Bay Area. One of my homeboys was a city councilman, and they told him he couldn't ride no more, and he had just bought it. He had diabetes and all kind of stuff. So I went down there and cashed him out for his bike. And but as we was riding, I was telling my uncle, I said, you know, I love my daddy, but I want my own name. And so my uncle was like, well, what you thinking? By the way, my uncle Junebug, you know, he an OG Liberty rider. He was in the Suns too, but in '77 when they put MC on the Sisters of the Suns back, my dad and them was like, no, no. So they turned into the Liberty Riders in '77. But my uncle Junebug was asking me, I said, man, he said, what you thinking? I said, well, I'm strong. I'm this, I'm that. Something with gorilla. And he was like, well, gorilla this, gorilla that. And I'm looking at him like, yeah, that shit don't sound right. And then, you know, I told him, I said, well, you know, I'm a Crip, Gorilla Blue. And he looked at me because he an OG from the neighborhood too, but we on the motorcycle stuff now, not that gang stuff. And he was like, you know, you got to catch to a Gorilla Blue. So we came up with Gorilla Blue. And you know what I'm saying? I give him credit for it, you know what I'm saying? Because he was right there. He tell everybody, I named him. So yeah, my Uncle Junebug named it. That's how we came up with Gorilla Blue because the gorilla, he take care of his family. He's loyal. You know what I'm saying? He's a little bit different than me though. He's humble, and I'm getting there. Um, he don't, you know
Hey,
what I'm
God
saying?
ain't finished yet. He ain't finished yet.
A gorilla is all about action and taking care of their family. When it's time to get down, they get down with the get down. They have no fear.
That's what's happening, man. So I tell you what, let's start here, if you don't mind.
Let's roll.
Okay, yeah, let's
Ask
okay,
me anything, and I'll tell you. But don't come
okay.
with that shit posting pictures of my daddy up having me crying on this motherfucker.
No, we ain't gonna do you like that. So I'm gonna say this, man. Uh, the Titan Award is for those who look at things as if there we go 702 on ground.
OPP.
Who look at things in the perspective of making things better, to unite us, to influence positively in the community, to make an example of themselves, even if it makes them vulnerable, to talk about their success, their failures, as well as their accomplishments. And I know I've been watching you for quite some time, man, quite some time. And the one I want to start off with, as far as your accomplishments, you've been doing this thing now. I know I start kind of observing what you were doing about 2 years ago. You were taking riders across the country, and I think it was were you doing the four corners and a True X that you were
Yeah.
taking those riders on? Let's speak about that if you don't mind.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. My first group. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was me, Fat Cat, Erica, and the sister Most Wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So let me say this real quick because I've been getting phone calls and I'm glad you on here and I'm glad I can say this. Um, every your ride is not for everybody. And I just want to put this publicly. Most wanted. I love, honor, and respect her. You know what I'm saying? Regardless to what people may be asking because they hear stuff and all that stuff. I have no issues with her or anything like that. And I wish her nothing but love, life, and miles in her life. So yeah, so it was us, and we did the True X, and that's one of the hardest rides that, in my personal opinion, that a person can do because you got to go from Lebanon, Kansas to, I mean, you got to go from San Ysidro, California to Lebanon, Kansas, which is geographically the center of the United States. Then you go whichever way you want to go, but we went from San Ysidro to Lebanon. Then we went to Madawaska, Maine, back to Lebanon, Kansas. Then we went to Blaine, Washington, back to Lebanon, Kansas. And then we went to Key West, Florida, and it was a done deal. And so, I was looking at your videos, and I seen a bunch of my Rare Breed brothers doing the 10 to the end. So that's where this came into play. I
I
told
remember
Fat,
that well. I remember
yeah,
that well. Yes, sir. You
I
and Fat
told,
Cat.
man, let's fuck it, we gotta go home anyway. Let's do the 10 to the end. He said, but we gonna end up in California, right? I said, yup. He was like, and we gotta ride all the way back home. I said, man, shit, after doing all these miles, another 200, 300 miles ain't gonna hurt. So
Yeah.
that's when we connected with you, and we did that. And at the end of it all, it was just me and Fat Cat that remained. Erica was just riding with us. And then when she got so far, she was like, Blue, I can't finish this. This is too much. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
she went home, and then we departed our ways with Most Wanted in Chicago. On that note, that's all I would say on that. But that was a hell of a ride, Sarge. And I think what made it so hard, because I've never wanted to give up. And Fat Cat would tell you this, Erica would tell you this. I said, man, fuck this. I'm getting out of this weather. I'm gonna take my bike somewhere. If I have to leave it, I need to get to the airport. I'm going home. I said, I'll file a claim on this motherfucker because, man, that wind was blowing so hard and it was raining so hard in Oregon that you couldn't even see your windshield. And them diesels was coming past you, bro. I'm not making this up. Them people in them big rigs was doing probably about 100. And I was like, man, I'm done. And Fat Cat was like, man, well, I'm a finish. So I'm like, damn, this motherfucking invite, I can't leave him by himself. I'm hoping he'd say okay, because I got the money to get us back home. Man, we got on them bikes and rode through that storm. And once we got out of the storm, it was beautiful. So to all the riders out there, just because you're in a storm doesn't mean that it's going to last a long time. In order to get through it, you got to pound through it, ride through it, get through it. You can't sit there like a bump on a log because all you're going to do is just be getting wet. So you got to go through it. But that was one of my hardest rides besides another ride called the Trifecta Quad Effect that I did with, I think it started off with 22 of us or something. My club, Rare Breed, Mr. Nate and PJ put that crazy ass ride together.
Well, what I take away from your ride is that you're not afraid to share the ride. You're not afraid to show us, and when things are going great, when things are not going so hot. And then what I peep most important about the ride is that you were inviting people to come along with you, and you were uh, uh, imparting upon your experience to the riders, to those riders, to help those riders to be successful. And that's my biggest takeaway from it because I saw sometimes that things wasn't so hot, and you guys
Man,
would continue to thunder through. And I seen you more and more as you start getting big. Matter of fact, if you don't mind, let's talk about. Okay, now you do. What is your particular ride called? Is it? It's called the highway
it's,
burglar ride.
yeah, the highway burglar social distance ride
Social
that,
distance ride. That's right.
that I came up with during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
and it consists of many different rides. Sarge, let me tell you something, man. And I don't knock nobody, but these rides, all I do is I promise to God, I'll be laying up in that bed, or I'll be sitting right here on my recliner, or I might be in this chair, and I listen to smooth jazz. And that's funny that you play it, but I listen to
Mhm.
smooth jazz and something to come up, and I just get the call and like, man. First, I called Pineapple Amy Smith. Shouts out to her. She's a Indian, and I mean a Harley rider. She worked at Indian. She used to be a Buffalo Soldier. I would call her and say, Amy, I'm thinking about doing this. Can you make me a flyer? Or I would call Butterfly, be what you die for, to make me a flyer. And Pineapple would be like, so when you doing this? And she's very like anal. She asks me the time, to this, to that. And I don't be having it. It's just something that come up. So she'll put it together and Sarge, we'll just go ride, man. And it started off with like maybe me, Shaq, Molly, a couple of other people. Then I invited the social club. And then one day, man, about 50 social club cars pulled up and maybe about 100 bikes. And we would just go ride for that day and come back. And, I just got tired of sitting in the house and I want everybody that ride motorcycles to experience going across country, whether it's the next state over, two states over, whatever, whether it's just riding somewhere far within your state.
Right, right, right. For sure, for sure. As a matter of fact, that's actually what that introduced me to cross country riding was COVID because there was nothing else to do. I'm just
And
to ride. Yeah.
I hope I'm not all over the place when you
Mm-hmm.
asking me because I'm right now I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. Don't
You
worry.
know,
We gonna work it. We gonna work it in. We gonna work it in. I still want to kind of speak on again just your ability to be able to help riders. Again, I see it through your videos. I see it through some of the things that you speak about.
mhm.
I see it through your Cohen rides. Uh, can you kind of just give us a little feeling of what does it feel like, man, to say, hey, man, I'm gonna put it all on me because let's be honest, when you set up a ride, if everything goes great, it's good to go, and all the riders did good. If everything don't go so good, it's your fault. So
And I go ahead, sorry, I'm sorry.
so what do you do? How do you put that into play when you putting that together? How do you prep your riders? How do you prep yourself to be able to deal with them as well as you, and to also build y'all to set it up for success for y'all?
Well, as far as setting it up to be successful, I try to plan the easiest route. And I tell everybody, whoever the slowest rider, we gonna ride they ride. But if they way up under the speed limit, then they gonna have to catch up. But it's always somebody. Fat Cat is my right hand man. So when we have slow riders, he dropped to the back and ride with them. Or we have people like Shag, Long Haul from Mixed Breed. When people riding slow because they have fast bikes, Harleys and Goldwing, they would drop to the back and coach the people and allow me to keep leading the ride. So I try to make sure we adapt to the way people ride. I try to give people encouraging words. I might even pull over and talk to them or say this or say that. Or the weakest rider, I might tell them to lead the ride with me, and that boosts their confidence. Now to prepare myself for when it go bad and the backlash, I don't prepare myself for that. I don't even think about
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. You just got to, yeah.
that. Since we on that subject, if you don't mind, I would like to speak up on a ride to where it really didn't where it really didn't go so well with some of the people and before the ride, I told the people before the ride at the Red Rock, shout out to Red Rock Harley Davidson, I told them that this ride is gonna make us or break us. I said, we're going to gain friends, we're going to lose friends. We're going to gain love, we're going to lose love and be disrespected. And when I said that, I meant it literally because, well, before I go there, I want to go to this ride with Mr. Nate. So we did this ride that Punchy called the idiotic ride. And shouts out to Punchy Candy Shop, our mother chapter president. To me, him and Mr. Nate, they are the two people that when I say rare breed, the rare breed. This one is white. So please forgive me. I was suspended when I did this ride. So they had to treat me like a civilian.
I remember that well. I'm gonna speak on that one. I remember that well. I remember that well. But no, go ahead and finish your thought, man. Go ahead and finish your thought.
So we did the trifecta, the trifecta. Mr. Nate, thanks to him, he replaced all these because he said he didn't want to do me like that because he see my heart and he see the passion and the love that I have being a rare breed. So this one right here is the trifecta. So what we did was we did the 48 states, all of the states, which is including the black ones and stuff, and we did the four corners of the United States, meaning we was at the end of we was by Canada when we was in Washington, we was by Canada when we was in Maine, we was where you can't go nowhere in Florida, and we was where you can't go nowhere in California but to Mexico. On top of the 48 states, the four corners, we did an all rare breed chapter run, which is 40 some chapters, 40 chapters, forgive me if I don't remember. Um, and then we added the quad effect, which was we did seven wonders, like we did Yellowstone National Park, and I believe it's called a wonder, and I stand corrected because it wonders like how did that become right there? The La Brea Tar Pit. How did all that tar just start coming out the ground like that? And it's still coming out the ground to this day. And we did some other shit, man, that, excuse my language, that was just crazy. So that's the trifecta quad effect. Now, we started off with we started off with 22 people. I hear an echo. I don't know if that's me. But we
It's
started off
it's probably coming from outside. But let me say this: with those rides, you guys also take, or in your rides, you also take. I'm gonna call them civilians that are not in your organization. So you were also taking civilians along with you. Am I correct?
yes, and
Okay.
we did with this ride I'm speaking on too. And when we took off, we did it. A couple of one of our brothers went down, and a couple of brothers didn't make it. You know, Lady Tequila passed out on her bike while we was driving. I mean, driving while we was riding through Baker, where it was like 300 degrees. She was on her bike and literally was trying to get over, and you can see her shaking a little bit. And when she got to the side going slow, she just went down. And thank God to the truck driver. I don't know him or nothing. The white truck driver, he was blowing his horn and he helped stop traffic, jumped out of his truck, ran to help me pouring water on her. So these rides are something else. But yeah, we take civilians. On my ride, what I wanted to do, jump into my ride is, and then I'm gonna pause for a second so you can ask me what you want to ask me. I took civilians, many civilians, and people that wasn't that's not on, and I hate to say this, but people that's not on the black side of the bike set because we all should be one. So I took Mexicans, whites, blacks from the 1% side out here in Vegas, which is the which all of them were people that don't look like me. They look like me, but they're white.
Okay.
And I hate to color on. And we took people that wasn't in the club from California, and other places too.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me. I'm probably jumping ahead of you, but I'm gonna get my little stab in.
Do what you do.
I do remember when I think that was the True X ride when you came with Mr. Nate when you came through with Mr. Nate. That was the one when you had the bike that your bike that went down. You
No,
ended up
no,
buying
no.
another.
That wasn't the true X.
That was that the Four Corners ride that you did?
Product, the
The
trifecta
quad.
product.
Okay, okay, that you came through with. And I'm gonna say this, man. Shout out, shout out. This this is just a quick story, real fast. So I remember, if anybody knows Blue, Blue is gonna, when he's on his ride, he's gonna give it to you. He's gonna show you everything that's going on. And I kept thinking to myself, wow, I'm waiting on Blue to give me the skinny on what's going on out there. How bikes are moving, how everything, but it was very little bit of stuff. And I remember you got in Jacksonville, you was like, Sarge, I gotta kind of be quiet a little bit on this one. This ride. But I remember, man, and something that when I think you woke Mr. Nate up because I was just getting off from work and he
Yeah.
had just got up to. I was like, no, no, Blue, don't wake him up, man. I don't want to be disrespectful. He's like, no, 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 no. Let me call him. Let me call him. Call him. So Mr. Nate came down and he talked to me, man. And thanks to you setting it up, brother, you did me a solid. That was my first time getting the opportunity to meet Mr. Nate face to face. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you, man, me and Mr. Nate, I think we might have talked about an hour and a half. Mr. Nate he had to get on the road. Y'all was getting on the road first thing the next morning. And he talked to me, man, as if I've known him for years, man. So shout out to Mr. Nate and shout out
Yep.
to you for changing my life, man. For changing my life for hooking me up to be able to face for the first time meet somebody I consider a complete legend in this motorcycle community, man. So I had to throw that out to you because I know you wasn't on the good boy list. What's
No,
going on?
no,
So
no.
you had to
I,
stay cool, man. But I appreciate that.
I had to be quiet, or if I made too much noise, I wasn't gonna be in the club no more, and I wasn't trying to have that. So man, boy,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
ride right, man, that ride right there, man. I'm not even gonna lie. Riding on that ride, I had a lot of tears. Like Miles Bully said, I had a lot of tears under those helmets because I felt disrespected. I felt, I felt like I knew I was out there with them, but I felt like I was like on my own by myself, and I don't want nobody to take that the wrong way. I
Now,
just felt without my colors, and one of the riders, he's not longer in the club no more, so I can put it out there. He gave me a warning. He was like, "Hey man, such and such told such and such to watch you, so be cool." Whoopie whoop whoop. I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Oh man." So it was to the point to where when they would stop and taking pictures, I was in the back of the fucking pack, and Lady Tequila was like, "Blue, don't let them see that this is bothering you." And whoop whoop. I said, man, you know what the fuck I've been through to get these colors to be a part of Red Breed? You know how many people didn't want me in Red Breed, but Waterboy and Punchy and Slip and Mr. Nate and them gave me a chance. And so then after that, I started getting in the front of the pictures. So if you notice all other pictures, I'm in the front like this, like this. I'm standing by Mr. Nate and
yeah,
everybody.
yeah, yeah.
And then Mr. pulled me to the side. Mr. Nate was like, Blue, he was like, man, you all right. I love your energy.
Yeah.
He was giving me my prop. And then Guilty was like, bro, I see you. I see you. That's all Guilty saying. Shouts
Yeah.
out to Guilty. He's like, I see you. I see you. So yeah, man, it was a hell of a ride, and that
You know,
was the
I
biggest ride
I
I
I,
ever been.
I appreciated it, man, because I saw how you were looking out for your founder. I saw how you were still, even that you were dealing with some things that you were dealing with. It really don't matter. But I appreciate your behavior and your attitude towards it because you did have a positive persona on yourself when I saw you here in Florida. The things that you did for me with the founder, man, I appreciate that. And
Yeah,
I know it ain't easy sometimes when we do things on these in this motorcycle community. I'll say that this way,
I love
but
Mr. Nate, man, and I love man. Okay, I'm sure you're gonna get to the ride that me and him did coming out there, but I'm gonna
Oh, for
just say
sure.
this, man. I love Mr. Nate. I love his wife, man. She's one of the most beautiful people I've met. And if Mr. Nate invites you to his house, he gonna make sure his wife or she gonna make sure she lay it out. And I'm talking about food, man. They gonna make sure they lay it out for you.
Hmm.
So shout out to Mr. Nate. You know what I'm saying? One of the greatest founders, one of the greatest two founders. No disrespect to nobody else, but one of the greatest founders outside of my dad, outside of your founder, rest in peace, outside of founder of East Bay Dragon, one of the outside of, I'm gonna stop naming because I'm gonna keep
Yeah,
going.
cause yeah, you on a Mount Rushmore right now. That's Mount Rushmore right now. The names you just called out.
If it wasn't for them dudes, like my dad, even Mr. Nate, Yo founder, East Bay Dragon founder, father from Chosen Few, if it wasn't for them dudes, and Hero, man. Anyway, that's a whole nother subject, man. But shout out to them.
Well, I'm gonna say this. Shout out to Hero Benson, man. Shout out one of the baddest cats out there, man. I enjoyed him in San Antonio a few months ago. But hey, man. But okay, well, tell us this, man. Who inspired you to decide, or who inspired you to say, "Hey, man, I can take riders out there. I can lead a pack across the country. I can do these things and teach people the greatness of long distance motorcycle riding." Did anybody inspire you to want to start doing that?
Yes, and the the the, the person that inspired me from the off the jump, as far as taking a group of people, was Highway Smiley.
That's what's up.
Highway Smiley, and then me and Guilty. We was the first people that done the. I don't have my vest with me, but we was the patch looked something like this. We was the first set of people that did the first group that did the Highway Smiley 48 State Challenge. It was me. I was Hog Life. It was Guilty. He was 110 to the end, and it was Skylar, Sin City Disciple. He had cancer. We didn't know. We didn't know this was gonna be his last ride, but he wanted to go so bad, and me and Guilty made sure that he went on this ride. We took care of him, and he passed away. So much love and respect to Skylar, Sin City Disciple. May you rest in peace. But we was number 7, 8, and 9. And after we did that, I started watching K Solo more. And K Solo, after along with Highway Smiley, is the one that inspired me to try to not try to teach people and to be, man. When you take all these people on these rides, you have to set your mindset to a floating mindset.
Hmm.
When I say floating, meaning if somebody rides slow, you can let the pack keep going long as they got it in their GPS, and you drop back there and boost these people confidence up. You know what I'm saying? And be patient with them. No matter how wild people may look at me to be or how loud or whatever, I love people and I love what I do. And this is, everybody can say what they want to say. This is not an extracurriculum activity to me. It's my lifestyle. It's in my DNA. And I go to work, I be with my family, and I ride my bike. That's all I do.
Yeah, I would say that's probably all 99% of this channel does. Hey, go to work, spend time with your family, ride your motorcycle, man. I definitely agree with that one. But okay, any other last thoughts you had on that?
Uh, I just want to say to people that this recent ride that I did, if you don't want me to get into it, I won't. This least recent ride where I did the 48 states,
Well,
um,
speak on it if you want to speak on it.
I took a bunch of different people,
Hmm.
and like I said, things are not going to always go perfect with it. But I feel I've done my job, whether they completed the ride or no matter when they completed. Because everybody, except for one person that I know of, completed it. The one person, his bike broke down, and so he had to go home. But although it was just me, Fat Cat, and my Rough Rider daughter, we completed it in 10 days. But the most successful thing that happened on that ride is everybody made it back safe.
Most important thing. Most
Yeah,
important thing. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I matter of fact, I remember that ride. That kind of got hairy a few times, but man, thank the Lord, everybody made it back home safe.
that motherfucker got Harry a whole lot of times.
Yeah,
This stuff,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember quite well. Matter of fact, I think I was on my way coming home from Kansas City when I started getting the notes of the ride. But you held it together, man. You did what you had to do. But let's
they,
do this, man. If you don't mind, let's pivot and let's talk about. Okay, we've talked about the riding. We've talked about taking packs out and teaching people how to ride. We talked about being an inspiration and being inspired by other people. Some of the OGs out there, whether it was uh, Highway Smiley, K Solo, some of the cats out there riding at the hardest level ever. And
man,
then we're talking about now, and I consider you as one of those guys or one of the hardest riders out there, man. I'm gonna just
man,
put it out there, man.
say that. I appreciate that.
Oh, hey, brother, it's earned, not given. Ain't no
Thank
cap on that one because I've seen it. I've seen it. But let's talk about the other side of being a Titan. We know the riding. We to be a Titan. I don't know how it's gonna work if you don't ride a motorcycle great distances because you got to be able to influence people from as far east as Jacksonville, Florida, as far west as Seattle, Washington, man. So, and I think you meet that qualification. But let's talk about the community, man, because I've seen what you've done during the holidays, during the Thanksgiving, especially specifically talking about in Vegas. Let's speak a little bit about some of the cool things that you've done in the community.
Okay, so first of all, again, I want to shout out to Amy Pineapple Smith, um, one of the strongest female influencers on the West Coast, probably on the whole bike set. But I'm gonna just say on the West Coast. No, I'm gonna say the whole bike set. She invited me years ago to participate with the feeding of the less fortunate. She told me to stop saying homeless and say less fortunate. She said because everybody that comes in that line is not homeless. Some of them is just less fortunate. So overall, all of them are less fortunate. And then not only that, but even as a child, as a kid growing up, I would help people. When I first learned how to cut hair, I would cut the neighborhood kids' hair. As I got older, I would just linger away from going up there with my dad and them to picnics and stuff when they doing stuff. And I had got a party bus and I would take the neighborhood kids to the beach and stuff like that. And I've always tried to help people, but out here in Vegas, we feed the less fortunate. Um, I done took shoes and clothes to people. I done jumped up and went to McDonald's and ordered 300 sandwiches, 300 hash browns, and 300 waters because I don't know if they, diabetic or have health issues. And I done took it to them. I done gave away motorcycles. I didn't gave. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you how I help the
Right.
community. I
That's what's
didn't gave
up.
cars and trucks. Um, Even before I got in the position that I'm in this time, I was giving away cars and trucks. I helped raise money to pay people rent for months, and I even gave money to help pay people rent, sacrifice for myself. I didn't went and bought people kids school clothes for school. I didn't man, I can go on and on and on, man.
Yeah, I've peeped it, man, and like I said, I've been inspired about what, and actually I've watched you do it for years, man. I watched you do it for years, and I peek down and I see you guys are at a community center, or it looked like a community center from where I was looking from, and I've seen how you you've
It's
got on your platform.
it's actually a place. I think it's a habitat for something, but
Hmm.
it was started off with a place where it's a community place where they grow greens and
Right.
fresh and vegetables and stuff, and you can go there. I don't remember the name what they call it, but you can go there and pick it. So they let us do it on their property, and then we went to another place by the cemetery, by the homeless shelter, and the people let us do it on their property because the police would give your ass a ticket
Yeah. Yeah.
for
Well,
helping
like
people.
yeah, like I said, man, I've seen it. I thought it was some of the coolest stuff out there, man. And hopefully, just by you showing it, because a lot of people, we do things, but we don't put everything on social media.
And we don't
Look,
even
man,
want to go
you know,
there.
if you don't mind, just give me a second of that because I want to speak on that. For the people who always do things and don't want to share it because you don't want nobody to know you want to do it and you want to be what's the word I want to use? You want anonymity. I mean, you want to be clandestine about it. You just want your deeds to do it. I have no problem with that as long as the deed getting done. But just look at it from this lens. Uh, uh, Solo he says the thing, aspire to inspire. Imagine if one day I see Blue doing it in his community and I say, man, how cool that looks. It might inspire me. There we go. That's what's up. It might inspire me as Sarge to do it in my community. And then it might inspire the next man or the next woman to do it in their community. That's the beauty of sharing what we're doing. It's not just, man, you just want to get clout. No, 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 no. It's
And
to
thank
be able
you.
to
Thank
encourage other people.
That's the only reason why I post. And even in the midst of, man, let me tell you something. It is what it is. I even had club brothers calling me talking about, man, Rare Breed Club brothers. Oh man, you don't have to put everything on Facebook because I be helping people too. And I don't put it on Facebook. Man, I don't give a fuck. Excuse my language. I don't care what you do. That's
Right,
on you. Why are you
right,
even calling me speaking up on what I do?
right.
I do my stuff in the open so people can see it and be inspired and encouraged to do it because it's a lot of people that want to help people, but for some reason, they won't do it until they see somebody else doing it. And then
But
you have a lot of people that go on Facebook and be like, well, I don't have to do this, I don't have to do that. And I'm going to speak up on this too, why it's on my heart. All you people out there that be talking shit because we call ourselves ground pounders or we speak up on all these freaking patches that we got for different states, and I got bags of them. Different states and different clubs give you for doing rides and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I got a bunch of them. I got so many patches from going different places and doing different things. I even got this Flacco patch that he was giving away to people. You know what I'm saying? If I don't have enough room on my vest for a lot of patches, but I'm gonna tell you something. Stop knocking people that get out there and ride their bike and put and video it and speak about how they ride and all that stuff. It's always the people that's not doing it. It's just sort of like the Android iPhone thing. The iPhone people is always clowning
yeah,
us Android people. We don't say nothing about them, but but they always want to clown us. But
yeah.
God has kept this Android S23 Ultra has the best camera on any phone, hands down. And I said what I think, and I stand on business.
Hey, hey, well, I'm gonna pull us out of this. I'm gonna pull us out of this tailspin. But most important, I see my man Bolo said, "Hey, if you advertise your deeds, others become aware of the need." And
Yes,
that, to me, that is the. Let me do this, man. That's
yes.
100, man. That's putting it right there in perspective. If you advertise your deeds, others will become aware of your needs. That's the beauty of all this stuff, man. I understand, man. Ain't none of us perfect in this stuff.
I just
None
wanted
of
to
us
put it
are.
free.
Go
I'm
ahead.
not even sorry.
Huh?
I said I just wanted to put that out there for free. I ain't even charging nobody
You
for
in
that.
charge. It's all about those deeds, man. Hey, so hey, I tell you what. Let's go in this direction. Let's go in this direction. Let's talk about this year. Let's see. Let's talk about February of this year. I'm gonna tee it up and I'm gonna let you take it from there. So we got this little event that was going on February of 2023. Matter of fact, it's going on February 2024 as well. But I remember when Mr. Nate had got the award, got the Titan Award. So shout out to Mr. Nate, 2023 Titan Award recipient, him and Mama D. Let's go ahead and say that now. I'm gonna say this: they are rare air. They are rare air type of people. But I remember it was cold, man. It was cold as nobody's business. February of last year, and I think in Texas they had all kind of ice storms and all kind of foolishness that was going on. And I remember, I remember talking to Mr. Nate. Mr. Nate say, Mr. Nate had two things going for him, and both of them wouldn't. Both of them was tough. He had his wife's birthday,
Yep.
which had actually was the date of Iron Elite, was the day he was getting the award. So he had to negotiate that, and he was real smooth at it. And
Yep.
then the other thing he had was this ice storm going through Texas. So then I remember Mr. Nate. I said, Mr. Nate, are you coming by yourself? He said, well, Sarge, I think I'm probably going to try to go ahead and do it by myself and a couple other words. And then I remember I talked to Mr. Nate a few days ago, and a few days later, Mr. Nate say, Sarge, Gorilla Blue, me and Blue going across. I said, but you and Blue? He said, yes, sir, me and Blue going across. So you guys take off, man. Y'all heading. I hear Blue say, if my founder going, I'm going.
Yep.
We go, hey, well, my founder ain't going nowhere without me. I'm going to take him and I'm going to escort him across, and we going to do what we got to do. So y'all guys go across, y'all go through all kind of cold weather, ice, all kind of shenanigans, and y'all make it into Jacksonville. And I remember that Friday night, y'all had to meet us at the L House. And shout out to Baton Rouge Chapter 2, because I think they came in with you guys as well, and a few other breed guys came in. So shout out to those breed guys that helped to support and to escort their founder in. But
And Jacksonville, Top Flight, Florida, and a couple of them,
from
they met us in, I believe, Alabama and rode us back in.
yeah, I remember that. I remember that. So you guys get into Jacksonville. We get into L House. And this is what I like, brother, because this was not, nobody was paying attention to this. But Sarge, I watch a lot of stuff. I really do. You get in, you guys are tired, cold, wet, hot, all that stuff, man. Y'all went through all them crazy seasons. You get in, we welcome everybody in. We get Mr. Nate in, we shaking hands, we hugging, we taking pictures, kissing babies, all that stuff. And I said, Blue, you good? You said, no, yeah, I'm good, Sarge. Let me make sure my founder has a menu. Let me make sure my founder has something to drink. Let me make sure my founder is settled in, and then I'll take care of me. I'm going to tell you something, brother. When nobody else was watching, I was watching that.
I appreciate it.
I watched a guy who got off his motorcycle and traveled great distances, and first he made sure that his founder was taken care of. You didn't get a plate, you didn't get a menu, you didn't take a picture. You focused in to make sure Mr. Nate had with it. That told me a lot. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to give the mic over to you. The next day, we pull in the Harley, and we getting ready, and I'm telling you, hey, you can bring Mr. Nate up here and get his motorcycle and get everything set up. And you say, Sarge, cool. But I'm going to go back here to Harley maintenance department, and I want my founder's bike checked out, and I want his bike detailed because I want my founder to ride back, at least to start off on a clean motorcycle. You remember that?
Yep.
Bro, I said, there it is. When nobody was looking and nobody was paying attention, I was paying attention because I saw how you served. I didn't see your ego. I didn't see your me first. I saw how you served. So that's what I have to say about you, sir. At that point, that made me say, wow, I hear all this thing, Hey, but bro, I saw what I saw out there that day. So I'm going to turn it over to you, brother. I know I embarrassed you, so I'm gonna turn it over to you from there. I'll let you roll with it.
Yeah, so just going back a little bit, yeah, Mr. Nate, when I found out he won it, I was like, man, Mr. Nate won that. And I called Mr. Nate. I said, Mr. Nate, I said, what's going on, Mr. Nate? Hey, Gorilla Blue, what's going on? I said, congratulations on your Iron Titan. He like, yeah, man, I don't know how I got it, but I got it. I said, yeah, that's a good thing. So when you leaving? He's like, well, I'm thinking about leaving on such and such day and whoop wop wop. I said, so I just knew the whole empire was going with him. I said, so how many going with you? He said, well, Blue, that's another subject. You know how people say they gonna try or they gonna go. He said, but we gotta wait to see to the last minute. I said, well, Mr. Nate, let me know tomorrow if anybody confirmed, which was 3 days before he take off, or 2 days. Then I hit him back. He say, well, Blue, ain't nobody said nothing. I said, I'm going. He said, well, if you change your mind, call me back and let me know. I said, Mr. Nate, I'm going. I'm not changing my mind. I'm taking off work and I'm going. And so the next day, I get a message from him and he was sent me the plans. I said, okay. So we get on a bike, we ride, and we on a 10. We getting it. We getting it. It's nice weather going. It's cool, cool. Then we enter New Mexico, kind of like chilly a little bit. Then we get into Texas. It's kind of cold. And that temperature was just dropping like crazy. And the sad part about it is my fucking plug, excuse my language, my plug went out on my heated gear. And we riding. My fingers don't want to move, don't nothing want to move. Mr. Nate looking at me, I'm looking at him. I'm like, telling me my code. He giving me a signal with his hands barely moving, even though he's working. He like 50 more miles. That 50 miles seemed like it turned into coming from Florida, coming back home. And I'm cold and I'm trying to get Mr. Nate attention, but he turned his head on me. He turned his head. He like, I did that because we couldn't stop. And I'm shaking like I'm not. I'm hugging that gas tank with my motherfucking legs. Excuse my language. I got my hand down there by the motor to where it burnt my glove and burnt my hand. I'm freezing. And I'm sitting here saying, Lord, please don't let me die like this. Please don't let me die like this. And then shit flashing up on the freeway things with this snow and stuff that's saying, travel at your own risk.
Yeah.
Freeway has been closed. And I'm sitting there, I'm trying to get Mr. Nate attention. So I just gassed it the best as I can, got on the side of him. I pulled my helmet. I'm like, how far? He say 11 miles. And I'm like, man, that 11 miles seemed forever. We get this is a true story. So the military people was there. All of them was just pulling in. We pull in, Mr. Nate get off his bike. I pull in. All I can do is drop my feet. And I was able to hit the switch and turn the bike off. True story, man. No heated gear. I turn it off. I can't move. So I'm sitting on the bike. I finally made myself lean over to get off the bike. And I'm walking and I'm like, Mr. Nate, like, Blue, you all right? So I go into the hotel, I sit down, I sit on my hands, and the lady come to me and the military people too. I'm not making this up. Mr. Nate to tell you. They asking me, am I all right? I'm like, yeah. So I did the dumbest thing in the world that you can do. I went in the bathroom looking for one of them push button heated things. They didn't have one. I turned on the hot water and put my hands under there.
Oh boy.
That was the worst thing that you can do in the world.
Sure
and we couldn't go nowhere for 2 days. I told Mr. Nate, well, if we can't get to Jacksonville, I hope Sarge just send you your gift because he'll see that we couldn't travel and this and that. And then like 2 days later, it was sunny as Vegas outside. It was crazy, man. It was
a some type of winter storm thing that was coming down, and it hit the middle of the country. So it came down from the Midwest and went to the Midwest, and then I think it went as far east as I want to say Louisiana at the time, man. So it was tough sledding until you guys got on the other side of Houston, I believe, and I think things kind of got a little bit better. But
we got
man,
a
just
Louisiana, but that wasn't nothing compared to that shit.
yeah, but hey, man, you know what? Warriors are gonna do what Warriors got to do to make sure they get to where they need to get.
Yeah.
Safely, of course, safely, of course. But I'm just say this, man. That was just my segment of the story. Just some cool things that I've seen you do up close, personal. Obviously, the Titans themselves have seen you do a lot of things, and I just want to let everybody know out here, uh, how you get the Titan. Let me put it this way: the Titan is not a 10 question answer, because if it is, what people do is they'll go and they'll study the test, and basically they'll be ready to make the 100 on the test. The test the Titan, you don't find the Titan finds you.
Mm.
And how it finds you is about your deeds consistently over time. It's not a personality, an award. It's not because if it's a personality award, probably 95% of the people who got it wouldn't get it. It is a deeds generated award. It's your efforts and your contributions to the motorcycle community at large. Do you teach people through your actions? Do you show people through your vulnerabilities? Do you describe? Do you support something that's bigger than you? If you're doing those things, keep doing them, because we will find you. We will find you. The coolest part about the Titan Award is Titans vote on Titans. Titans vote on Titans. Sarge don't vote on Titans. Titans vote on Titans. So that's how it works. And if you aspire to be a Titan, just remember, keep doing what you're doing. Blue has already kind of shown you. Hey, keep doing your thing, man. They'll find you. Hey,
Yeah.
Blue. So let's do this, man. Let's wrap it up in this last segment. Let's bring it into home. What are some
Oh,
some things that you would like to inspire us with? What's some words of wisdom that you want to leave us with?
I would just like to leave everybody with this. Let's stop worrying about what the next person ride, and let's come together and ride together. Whether they on a trike, a Gold Wing, a Honda, a Suzuki, a Kawasaki, it don't matter. Be encouraging to people. Stop putting people down. Stop clowning people because they have mismatched rims and all that stuff. But show yourself friendly and say, hey, let's ride over here to eat. Even if the person say, hey, man, really, I ain't really got it like that. Get that person the gas that he need and buy that person something to eat. So that person can see that you are more than just asking him to go out to eat. You trying to be on a brother and sisterhood or brotherhood thing or sisterhood thing. So my words of encouragement would be to do more motivating and less discriminating.
I know that's right, man. I know that's right. Do far more motivating.
Um, this year I won Ground Pounder of the Year with my club, 2023 Ground Pounder of the Year.
I peeped that. Let's do this. Let's do this. Yes, sir.
2020 I got it. 2022 I got it. Um, I got outstanding sponsorship for the way I carried myself with Fat Cat. I got my coast to coast um, uh, Eagle for going coast to coast, and I have some more stuff in the garage, and I have other patches. And I tell people this, and I just want to say this really quick. Um, I do this because it's in my heart. I do it because I enjoy it. I do it because it's my lifestyle. I don't do it to put people down. I don't do it to try to show people off or any of that stuff. I do it because it's in my heart. And I do it working 12 hours a day, 4 days a week.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. That's grown man, grown woman stuff. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. Work hard, take care of your family so you can ride motorcycles and influence lives, man. And that is grown folk stuff. And I'm
And
gonna
so
say this.
I want to give you your flowers, man. But first, shout out to Shaquila, Demolished Bully, my sister that
Mileage Bully. That's what's up. That's what's up.
you know what I'm saying? Much love and respect to her. You know what I'm saying? Even though she was being a buster and was crying on here yesterday. You know,
Hey, I'm gonna give her a pass on that one, man. I'm gonna give her
And
a pass. She earned that one.
but Sarge, oh, one more thing. Congratulations to Sunshine and Zoom. He asked her to marry him and she said yes.
That's what's up. That's my people, man. Hey, that's
Yeah.
my people there. Sunshine and Zoom, man.
Shout out to you, Sarge, for putting this together. You and K Solo, your wife, shout out to all the wives and the girlfriends and whatever else you want to call them
That's what's
that
up.
have they guys back and all this stuff that they do
For
because
sure.
women are built different. Women are built different. Women are stronger than men. And the reason why I say that and I stand on it is because number one, they give birth. That's pain. I can't even imagine. But just looking at my four boys come out is painful.
Hmm.
Women take on the weight of the world. They take on our weight when we come in the house and we feeling bad. They stand there to push us and say, I got your back. Your wife say, babe, I got you. I'm gonna do these shirts no matter what. Even though she want to go hang out with her girls, but she tell them, well, I gotta help my babe with these
Yeah,
shirts.
she
Mr.
does.
Nate, hey, babe, it's my birthday. Most women would be to put all his shit out on the streets. But she said, you go get that stuff and do what you have to do. So I do want to say shouts out to all the women on the bike set, whether you on a motorcycle, social club, Can-Am, or whatever. You women are very important to the men on the bike set. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And we ask that y'all continue to have our back and continue to be there for us when we fall. Continue to pick us up and wipe us off as we do the same to you. So that's what I want to do. Shout out the women out there because some of these women like Kinky, Pop Off, the what's her name? The one that do the rides in Jacksonville. Uh,
Jen.
all you women,
Yeah.
man, thank you. Doc J, thank you all so much. Thank you so much for being who you are and all that stuff. And don't let nobody tell you that you're privileged to be on a bike set because it didn't work like that. And it still don't work like that because every founder that founded these clubs had a woman or a wife, and every member had a woman, have a woman or a wife. So y'all belong where your man belongs. So that privilege shit, don't pay no attention to that. I just want to put
Hey man, I tell you what, hey Blue don't put it down for the women. I tell you what, I know my wife is watching on this, so let me just say this to the wife. She does so much, and I've probably posted a few times before and told everybody what she does. She is a pivotal piece for me. She keeps all the operational stuff for me to stay organized, to make sure all the riders are registered, and make sure all the tents to the end, all the stuff. She handles all that, man. So she knows how great she is and how instrumental she is for me to run this campaign and to do what we're doing. Because ultimately, man, we do this because we do have a love for the community. We do have a love for things that are greater than us. And
yes,
Sarge would never want to leave this earth without leaving some type of legacy behind, leaving
right.
some way that people feel some type of way about you. They say, we can always tell how much you meant at the funeral. You know?
Right.
If they ain't
Hey,
got nothing to say at the funeral,
all of
you probably didn't make a difference in life, man. So let me just say that, man. Yeah. Hey man, so hey, this is what we're gonna do. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wrap this thing up, man. But before I let Blue go, I just want to say again, thank you, sir, for inspiring. I know sometimes uh, you're misunderstood. I laugh sometimes when people tell me certain things because I say, look at Blue's deeds. The deeds are undisputable, man. I looked at them from other Titans, and people say, "Oh, well, they said this. They made a joke on Facebook with the memes and whatever, whatever." Look at the deeds, man. The deeds are what counts,
right.
and your deeds were there, sir. 100%, no doubt, no doubt. I appreciate you, Blue, for what you did and what you still do, and
Thank
I've
you.
seen it for myself. Your deeds, bro. So there's nothing else to speak on that. I'm just waiting to give you that award in person on
Thank you.
February 3rd, 2024, bro.
Yeah, and I'm coming in hot.
Coming in hot, hey man, and pray for some warm weather.
Hey,
Hey,
whatever it is, I know damn well
yeah.
the God ain't finna do us like he did last
Nah,
year.
he ain't gonna do that, man. Kodak said, he said, because of Iron Elite, I know I have two plugs for my heating. hey, hey, man,
Hey,
because it is.
with that being said, Mr. Nate told me, he said, see, Blue, here, you can wear this jacket. Mr. Nate had double heated gear. Guess what I
Yes.
got in my garage?
Double heated
Double
gear?
heated gear. I got two
Yeah,
plugs,
yeah.
double heated gear. I
Hey,
got a
hey,
pair of different gloves and all that stuff.
hey, some of the baddest out there, man. Hey, when them OGs trying to teach you how to get this yonder game down or get this cold weather game down, hey man, you better listen. And also for everybody out there, if you're gonna be riding to Iron Elite, and I hope you are, this February 2nd and 3rd coming up, peep the video on the Iron Elite the Road to Iron Elite uh, podcast show. I have four, I believe I have four segments on it, and we speak about cold weather riding. Man, it's a lot of jewels on there, whether it's suits, gloves, uh, different types of socks, and all kind of stuff. It's all kind of stuff on that podcast. So peep that, man. Hopefully you'll pick up some things. I know. Uh, what's her name? I'm sorry, it skips. Okay, Sonny, and David Bell. They're on their way coming back from the I-10 to the end. The last time I
Oh,
saw them, they were.
congratulations.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they did that thing, man. So I
Yeah.
think they're probably closing in on Western Texas right now, and they peeped a lot of game, man. When they got out of here, they had some of the baddest uh, uh, heated suits, man. The gloves, the wool socks that low key put them in on. So peep that, man. It'll make you ride just a little bit better. Just some information. If you got it all together, that's cool. But it might be a little piece of something that you miss that you hadn't heard about yet. Peep on that podcast, man, and get schooled up on the thing. That's what we're supposed to be doing in this thing anyway. Each one teach one. Hey, Blue,
Yeah,
any last remarks, man, before we shut this thing down?
yeah, man. You said each one teach one. Shouts out to Low Key. I remember riding in my garbage truck and I was picking up the garbage and I get a phone call. It was Low Key. He said, Blue, I think you should take that down. I said, man, he said, Blue, I think you should take that down. Blah, 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 blah. And even K Solo gave me some words of encouragement. So shouts out to K Solo and Low Key for
That's what's.
having enough love and respect for
Yeah,
me
for sure, for sure.
outside of being in my
Yeah,
club to reach out to
yeah,
me and say, hey, bro,
yeah,
I understand this. I see how people are towards you, but
yeah.
a circus is only as happy and clownful as the clowns that's performing.
Yeah, yeah. I've always had the saying, man, from the days of the Marine Corps, we counsel in private, we praise in public. So that's what I typically do when I'm speaking to people. I always try to counsel and talk about things in private, and then I'm always going to get praise in public. So, hey, man, also shout out to Soldiers United MC. Soldiers United MC is the proud sponsor of the 2024 Titan Award, man. So Soldiers MC, there's some of the OGs going to be up there on that stage, and they're going to be presenting that trophy, man, to Blue and to Shaquila, man. So that's what we're going to be doing. So, Blue, man, with that being said, bro, we're going to enjoy our Sunday. We're going to do our thing, man. And I'll see you, bro, in about 4 weeks.
Yeah, hey, you have a wonderful new year. Enjoy it. And the only thing I want to say, and this is my last word, do
Okay.
not take baggage that you have in 2023 into 2024 if it's not helping you grow.
Leave it at the back door, man. Don't bring that stuff with you, man. We ain't playing. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to follow on what Blue said. If anybody in my family I've made mad, any of my friends I've made upset, any of my coworkers sick of me, if my club tired of my foolishness, man, I apologize now. I'm gonna try to be better in 2024. Hey, man, y'all keep it motorcycling. And Blue, we'll see you shortly, my brother. Take care. Peace.
Baby, peace.
All right, bro. So there you have it, man. Gorilla Blue 2024 Titan Award recipient, man. So February 2nd, February 3rd, man, we encourage you guys to get down to Jacksonville, Florida, to the Iron Elite event at Adam Mack Harley Davidson Bay Meadows Boulevard, man, here in Jacksonville, Florida. On the 2nd is going to be the meet and greet. On the 3rd is the actual event itself. Everything you need to know about the event is tagged at the top of the Iron Elite page. in the pent section, whether it's hotels, whether it's the facility, those type of stuff. We're gonna have vendors there, man. We're gonna have food there. We're gonna have music there, man. It's gonna be a good time. The Iron Elite event, just like I always tell everybody, it's not a party, but it is a celebration. It's the celebrating of us, for us, by us, man. So thank you to everybody who's come to the Iron Elite events over the years. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for the people who are coming to the Iron Elite event coming up. We thank you. Without you guys, it would be none of us. And I'm going to say this. Shout out to Sonny Bell, David Bell. They're on their way heading back to Florida. Y'all keep them in your prayers. They made it to Cali, so they completed the I-10 to the end, the social experiment, the each one teach one, coast to coast ride, but it ain't complete until they make it back to home of residence, man. So y'all keep them in your prayers, support on them, love on them, reach out to them on Facebook and say, hey, man, we see you, we got you, we pull it up on you guys, man, whatever the case may be. They're out there loving life, man. So let's continue to encourage them. For the riders we got coming up that's going to be doing I-10 to the end, we're ready for you guys. Just make sure you're doing your prep work and making sure that you're good to go for your ride so you can be successful. And for my let's talk about PIFs, man. Let me put it down for PIFs. Let me say this first and foremost. My PIF folks have been instrumental, man. And what PIF means for people that don't know what PIF means, it means pay it forward. And that's what some of my riders have been doing who's made the 10 to the end. They say, hey, Sarge, we want to support and give back to the platform. So what they've done is they've donated PIF. So basically what they've done is donated a registration for a rider to make this ride. Only thing I need you to do if you receive a PIF is make the ride. That's it. Make the ride. Your ride is taken care of. I still have some PIFs available. If you know for a fact that you get ready to do the I-10 to the end, or you would like to do the I-10 to the end, and you think you got a pretty cemented date, reach out to me. We do have a few left. I have some for female and some for male. Don't have a ton, but I do want to get rid of the ones that I have and get them in the hands of the riders. The coolest thing about some of this stuff is this got crazy. People who have got PIFs have turned around and PIFs other people. So that's the beauty of this thing, man. This thing keep getting bigger and bigger, and it's growing larger and larger. So shout out to all my PIF people. Shout out to all my riders. Shout out to the wife. She's doing this cool video right now. She's about to pull her hair out and go crazy. She's putting together this beautiful video presentation for all my 2023 riders. You guys are going to be on it. Your ride is documented and dated when you, not dated, but your serialized number when you completed the challenge and what number you are. So she's got this cool thing that she's putting together, and hopefully we'll have it put together shortly, that we'll be able to put it on social media and also have it for us at the Iron Elite event. So shout out to her, man. We're getting this thing together, man. We're excited. We're about 4 weeks away. A lot of work to do, a lot of things to get done. So, man, we're excited. So, in the meantime, man, enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy your ride. I know there's a lot of riders that got J1 rides coming up tomorrow. Be safe out there, man. Enjoy 2024 right around the corner. We just hours down. Tick tock, tick tock. So, hey, man, we'll see you guys on the flip side, 2024. And in the meantime, keep it motorcycling, you dig?